Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my vlogs. So first off, I'm going to read you the quote of what Mr. Todd Akin said. Ugh. Well, you know, people always want to try to make that as one of those things. Well, how do you slice this particularly tough sort of ethical question? First of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down. But let's assume that maybe that didn't work or something. I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be on the rapist and not attacking the child. This just puts the icing on the cake of the whole Republican running this year. It's just been, we hate women, we don't think that they should have any control over their bodies. That's about it. Yep. Let's make women second-class citizens again, pretty much. Being raped is a completely traumatizing experience that will stay with a woman for the rest of her life, probably not ever being able to truly trust a man again, unless somehow, through therapy and years of working through it, it can happen. However, being forced to carry and birth a baby that is the result of rape would just be a lifelong reminder of where that baby came from. This idiot of a man is saying that women should have to carry the burden of being a rape victim for at least 9 months if she doesn't give that child up for adoption. As a woman, I am completely appalled and disgusted by this comment. The fact that people actually believe that a woman shouldn't be able to choose whether or not to keep a child that is the result of rape is just plain old ridiculous. I think it's completely harmful and detrimental in more ways than one. First off, the woman was raped. Enough said. Secondly, she's forced to carry that baby to term, to give birth to it, and to have to labor through all of that, knowing that this is the result of her being raped. Then if she actually keeps the child, then for the whole of that child's life, and for the rest of her life, she has a living reminder sitting right in front of her face that she was a victim of rape. If she decided to give it up for adoption, well, first there's that bit of traumatic start for the child of having to be adopted. And then as adopted children usually end up wanting to find their parents, if that child does find his or her mother and asks, "Why did you give me up for adoption?" that in itself would be traumatizing to know that, as a child, my life was started because somebody raped my biological mother. And the fact that Mr. Akin decided to say that women's bodies shuts that thing down, this is why you need sex ed. This is why people need to learn about the human bodies, male and female, and understand how the reproduction system works. Sure, there is a possibility that because of the stress the woman's body is undergoing while she's being raped and afterwards from the trauma, there could be some way of her body naturally flushing that out. However, what about those women whose bodies don't end up doing that? And saying that we shouldn't punish the child for having been conceived, well, I'm pretty sure that living a life knowing at some point that you are the product of a rape is a pretty huge punishment. As you can tell, I'm pretty disgusted and heated about this because it's just freaking stupid. If I could swear right now, oh man. Oh man. So, I'm going to leave it at that. And our next news episode will be going up later. See you then.